Hello, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this week's edition of Engineering and You. If you have been noticing, we've been on a series of competition, debate competition, inter-school debate. The program is sponsored by Prince Engineering Shillong, FNSC, and it's proudly powered by the Nigerian Society of Engineers. So today, the schools are set, my judges are set, and we are set for a thrilling encounter because if you have been following this program, you'll see that we have been talking about engineering, talking about sciences, and want to build the future of Nigeria on the future that we have with us. On this note, I'd like to introduce to you the judges for the day, and they are here.
Well, thank you, viewers at home. My name is Engineer Dr. Adekunle Musa, FNSC, from the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch.
Good evening, dear listeners, the students here present, our presenter, and older audience. I am Temitope Esther Aboyeji, Engineer Mrs., a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta chapter.
All right, I haven't done the introduction. We'll take this very short break. When we return, the contesting schools will be on set with me. I will set the ball rolling from there. Glad to know that you are still there. The program is Engineering and You, and this is the inter-school debate competition proudly sponsored by Prince Engineering Shillong, FNSC. Now, I told you earlier that the contesting schools are going to be joining me on set, and they are already here. To my right, we have the Alaba Lawson Royal College. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Bandila MD.
All right.
My name is Ainabi Samata.
Okay, and to my left is St. Peter's College, Olomore. Please introduce yourself.
I am Olomore College. And I am Adewale College.
Alright, they will be discussing for or against the topic that says, is the digital divide in Nigeria contributing to widening social inequality? What is my opinion? I don't have any. But I will be leaving the stage for them to set the ball rolling. Don't go anywhere.
A good day, Mr. Chairman, impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and intense audience. The personality standing before you is no other person than Damdile Ayomide, a representative of that prestigious and eminent school, Alaba Lawson Royal College. And I'm here to support the motion that states, is digital divide in Nigeria contributing to widening social inequalities? What is digital divide? Digital divide can be referred to as the gap between individuals or communities that have access to digital resources and those that do not. Economically, digital divide is contributing to disparities in education. When schools were shut down in 2020, learning didn't stop for everyone. It continued for those who had laptops, mobile phones, internet access, and stable electricity. These were mostly children from urban areas, and for those in the rural communities, learning was paused and, or even worse, abandoned. But this divide didn't end with the lockdown. It's ongoing. Today, in a world digitally driven, children from rural communities are still struggling to access even the most basic online resources. Millions of Nigerians are stuck in survival mode just because they don't have access. Now, imagine two women selling handmade bags. One lives in Lagos. With internet access, she goes online to post her business and grows her business. The other lives in a small town without internet access. No online reach, no mobile banking, no growth. This is digital divide. We cannot afford a future where connection decides opportunity. This is a critical issue. It determines who learns, who earns, who speaks, and who is heard. Every time someone is cut off from the digital world, a door to opportunity is slammed shut. For millions of Nigerians that are in the rural communities that don't have access to digital technology, digital divide is not just about technology, it's about opportunity. And opportunity denied is inequality reinforced. Thank you.
Good day, panel of judges, timekeeper, co-debaters, and esteemed audience. The personality standing before you here is Elijah Flourish Abosede, and I'm here to address the notion: is digital divide in Nigeria contributing to widening social inequality? Let us be honest. Inequality in Nigeria will not begin with technology, and it certainly won't end with it. What truly contributes to inequality are long-standing problems like poverty, poor education, corruption, and most importantly, failed government. The digital divide is just a symptom, not because of these deep issues. In fact, digital divide is bridging the gap, not widening it. First and foremost, inequality predates the digital era. Long before laptops or internet reached Nigeria, inequality already existed. Students were out of schools, basic healthcare needs was inaccessible, and poverty levels were high. These problems were caused by poor policy and bad governance, not the lack of internet. The digital divide should not be blamed on a problem that already existed before digital tools arrived in Nigeria. Thank you.
The digital economy is the economy of the future, yet 2.6 billion people remain offline. It is dangerously destabilizing to find out that half of the world is on the critical edge of technology, and the remaining half is struggling to survive. Standing on the existing protocol, I am Aina Bisamaka by name, a reputable student of Alaba Law Syria College. Here to support the motion, is digital divide in Nigeria contributing to the widening inequality? Yes. Digital divide is contributing to the widening social inequality in a number of ways, like limited access to education. Digital divide limits access to quality education, especially in rural areas where there is low penetration of the internet. This limits access to quality digital skills, which also worsens educational disparities. According to the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, internet penetration is about 50% with significant disparities in rural and urban areas. Also to note by the World Bank that digital divide limits opportunities in socio-economic development in Nigeria. Thank you.
A World Bank report in 2023 that about 7% of extreme poverty was reduced because of internet. Please forgive my lack of morals. My name is Adewale Konisi Bonafide, the student of that great citadel of knowledge, St. Peter's College. And I'm here to buttress on the splendid point my chief speaker said in opposition to the topic or question that is digital divide contributing to the widening social inequality in Nigeria. No, it is not contributing. I heard that my co-debater said that millions of Nigeria now suffer because of this lack of internet. No, you're wrong. Look here and there. Look at students. Look at parents. Look at everyone, male or female. Everyone has access to internet, smartphones, computer, because this internet now make job opportunities valuable and provide job opportunities for everyone present in Nigeria presently. Please, I would like to hand over the mic to my chief speaker to buttress on what I said. Thank you.
Moreover, technology is bridging the gap, not widening it. More Nigerians are now online than even before. Even in rural areas, people with smartphones can access social media, online banking, online marketplaces, mobile banking, and YouTube tutorials. With a simple mobile phone, a farmer can check weather updates, a trader can advertise goods, and students can learn without needing physical classrooms. These equipments are bridging the gap, not widening it. Thank you.
My opponent said that millions of Nigerians are suffering because of internet. Let me tell you that we've never said that, number one. Number two, youths are not suffering because of the internet. Nowadays, we don't need the government or industries to stable our cost of living. Youths are programming, coding, designing, publishing articles with the help of digital tools. I don't see how not stopping digital divide will not help contribute to the widening social inequality. Digital divide, if we work towards it and if we address it, it will stop, or rather it will make social inequality better. I'm not saying that digital divide, if you stop it now, if you address it, it will improve social inequality, but it will make the situation better. Thank you. I would like to hand over to my chief speaker to say some few points. I want you all to imagine a young man in a remote village who can't apply for a federal job just because he doesn't have access to the portal, or a woman who misses out on a government empowerment program simply because she never saw the online announcement. This is systematic exclusion. When only individuals who have internet access can participate in national conversation benefits from government programs, we risk building a country where some voices are heard and others are silent due to lack of signal. We can't afford a future where opportunity is just deciding our destiny. We need to allow ourselves to open up opportunities for ourselves and not let connections and digital devices or the internet or computers to decide our destinies. Thank you.
This digital divide we're talking about, this digital divide is not the primary or main cause of social inequality. Other factors, for example, we have the lack of education, is part of the vital things that cause social inequality in our society. I mean that my co-debater may mathematically calculate me, geographically locate me, but I can never be debated. Please, allow me to debate on this beautiful topic. But before I continue or further this debate, let me hand over the mic to my chief speaker to talk more on this. Thank you.
Also, real inequality comes from systemic failures. If we truly want to address inequality, we should look at the root causes. Poor roads, failing schools, insecurity, lack of education, and most importantly, lack of insecurity. Because that is what truly divides the rich and the poor, not whether someone has a laptop or not. Inequality in Nigeria is because of these problems, not whether someone lacks Wi-Fi or not. I want the rest of my co-debater.
Okay. So I think our time is almost over. Thank you.
Digital literacy is essential for employment. Jobs are being advertised online. Applications are being submitted digitally. And many roles require computer skills. Those who cannot connect to the digital economy are left behind and are at a dear disadvantage in the labor market. Moreover, digital platforms have opened up economic opportunities in e-commerce, freelancing, online trading, and fintech. In conclusion, the digital divide in Nigeria is not a standalone issue. It is deeply interconnected with broader patterns of social and economic inequality. As the world is becoming digitally driven, we need strategies to bridge that digital divide in order to promote our community. For Nigeria to access inclusive development and reduce inequality, deliberate actions must be made to bridge that digital divide. If not, the gap between individuals and the individuals who have access to internet and the disadvantage will only continue to widen. The internet is now becoming the global village of tomorrow, and not everyone has a seat in that square. Thank you.
Okay. In order to articulate a proper articulation, one must have a stipulation, and I'm here to quote the quotation that is quote, that about 80% of Nigerian population now has free access to internet, because the census of the world now is full of smartphones and computer, because these people now have free access to this internet. Please allow me to hand over to my chief speaker to buttress more on the point.
In conclusion, digital divide may exist, but is not the major driver to social inequality. The true cause is lack of basic needs, poor governance, and most importantly, lack of education. These issues need to be addressed so as to overcome this thing called social inequality. Blaming social media blaming these things for inequality is an issue on its own. Thank you.
And with this quoted point of ours, I think we have been able to bring feed and not to brainwash, to perplex and not to fearmox you that digital divide is not part of what is causing social inequality in our present Nigeria. Thank you.
My opponent said that aside from digital divide, we also have lack of education and bad roads. Now let me point out to you that youth no longer depend on education. I'm not saying that education is bad. School is good. But nowadays, youth are depending on their creativity along with digital tools to make them stable cost of living. By investing in digital infrastructure such as optic fiber cables, which help increase in digital technologies, building access points like libraries for both individuals of socioeconomic class and non-socioeconomic class, Nigeria can work towards building a non-digital divided economy and build on social equality. Also to say that we are talking about digital divide, not digital media. Thank you.
My co-debater said a door to opportunity is closed, and it is my job to tell you that it is not closed. Millions of youths with smartphones are finding it hard to get jobs, even with their access to internet. Real inequality comes from systemic failure, and inequality predates the digital era. Moreover, technology is bridging the gap, not widening it. Thank you.
That was a very, very splendid delivery from the two schools. I'm sure you enjoyed their points that they've made on that topic. But like I said, I have no opinion, and it is not in my place to say who is the winner or the other is the loser. So I hand over to the judges to give the verdict of today's competition.
Wow, great job to our debaters, Alabalote Area College and St. Peter's College, Olumori. They have really done beautifully well. Let's put our hands together for them. So absolutely, the digital divide in Nigeria is a significant factor contributing to widening social inequality in the country. However, there are a lot of things to be put in place, such as our debaters have been able to put to us this evening. And as Nigerian economy and social systems become more digital, those without access risk falling further behind, which depicts
and, increases the inequalities based on wealth, location, gender, and education. But these two schools have been able to stand for and also against the motion. And permit me at this time to read the result of today's debate. So at the end of this session, for the use of English, Alaba Lawson Royal College has a total point of 35. While St. Peter's College Olumore has a total point of 36. So looking at the technical points and other factors, Alaba Lawson Royal College came up with a total point of 50 marks. While St. Peter's College Olumore came up with a total point of 55 marks. So at the end of this debate, we have the total sum of 85 points going to Alaba Lawson Royal College, while St. Peter's College Olumore has a total point of 91.
Yes, in view of the result that my colleague has just presented, I so wish to declare St. Peter College Olumore as the winner for this edition. Thank you.
Okay, that is the verdict of the very, very keenly contested competition. And on this show, yes, some people will move to the next round, but yet others would have to crash out maybe. But on this show, everyone is a winner. So I would like the two contesting schools to please cross over and greet each other and to show the spirit of sportsmanship. Please go ahead and do that. All right, on these notes, we have come to the end of this week's edition of Engineering and You. The program is sponsored by Prince Engineer Mrs. Shilon, FNSC, and supported by the Nigerian Society of Engineers at Belkuta branch. Next week is another time. We'll bring you another school to discuss for and against another very, very interesting topic. Until next week, my name is Tunde Olaniro. Bye-bye.